What's up, everybody? This is the first official video of mine from Alpha Dynamics. As you can see behind me, there's a plethora of different concepts, sticky notes, all around the wall. We'll talk about that in another video. It's a really good strategy to employ to keep yourself motivated and on pace for your goals. What I'm here to talk about today, though, is something that's really key, and I think it'll help everybody, whether you're a guy or a girl. A lot of my videos will be towards guys, targeted for guys, because honestly, guys need more help. Believe it or not, I'm sure it's easy for everybody to agree on that, actually, but you know, everything that I talk about can still be applied by females. So, I definitely encourage the ladies to, take some knowledge from this and apply it however in the areas they see fit. So, first, we're going to talk about how to stay emotionally centered, because when we're talking about attraction, as a man, it's vital that you stay emotionally grounded, okay? And this means, like, you're not freaking out, you're not needy, you're not jealous, you're not getting upset when shit doesn't play out the way that you had planned. Maybe plans get canceled, whatever it may be. You're still like this infinite well of positive emotions. Okay, it might sound like unrealistic, but once you understand these strategies, like, it's really not. It's really doable, and it's actually easy, because in life you can either go in an upward spiral of abundance or downward into scarcity, and whatever way you're going, is very difficult to go the other way. So if you're doing really well, it's actually really hard to really fuck shit up and end up like homeless or whatever. And on the other hand, if you're doing really shitty, it's going to be pretty difficult to get into that upward spiral, but there are ways to do it, and I'm going to tell you a couple of those now. So first off, women will shit test you. If you're going to apply this concept to attraction or relationships, you as a guy probably already know that you will get shit from women all the time. Now, this is actually a good thing. If a woman makes a comment about one of your insecurities, maybe you're short, or maybe you have like thinning hair, maybe you have freckles, maybe you're ginger, whatever it is, you've probably gotten those comments 1,000 times from guys and girls. But the reason that you're getting it from girls, especially in a situation where, like, you're approaching them and they don't know you, and they're kind of showing indicators of interests, but still in the early stages, they're gonna do this shit test because they need to know, can he stay emotionally centered? Because basically, if you can't stay emotionally centered and constantly be a good flow of positive emotions, and the slightest little thing is going to set you off or upset you, and you're going to be weak or you're going to be angry, you're not going to be worthy of a woman who values herself, who has, like an alpha female, or who has really high self-confidence, a 10, or if you don't believe in 10s like me, a 9, whatever it might be that you want. If she has a healthy patterns of relationships, mind state, whatever, she's in a good place, she is not going to be attracted to you if you can't hold your shit together and not be a little bitch. Okay, that sounds harsh, but men, we respond to challenge, okay? Women respond to affection. I don't even want to say affection, I want to say attention. They respond to your time, knowing that you care. And a man will respond to challenge. He'll step up to challenge, sink or swim, right? So when you get one of these shit tests from a woman, it's very important, first off, to be able to laugh at yourself, and when I say laugh at yourself, I'm not talking about the little chode, like, Oh, I'm short? Yeah, I am short. No, I'm talking about like the deep, like Santa Claus, like bellowing, just like as if you just saw like a midget like kick himself in the balls. Okay, I'm talking about laughing with literally, it's like clear as day that you're amused by whatever this little jab is attempt to throw you off your center. And honestly, I'm going to tell people a way to really not have these comments fuck with you, or being disappointed if like a date gets canceled, or she doesn't text you back fast enough, or whatever is like crashing your state. After this, I'm going to tell you ways to prevent that from even fucking with you. But first of all, when it happens, you want to be able to laugh at yourself. I have a great example. This was a long time ago, but I was invited to hot springs by a couple friends of mine, a couple girls. They were dancers, and they're fairly attractive. Probably couple sevens and eight, whatever, and then maybe a nine, in that range. So I didn't know them very well, but I prefer to learn through immersion, just fully just dive into whatever it is. Like speaking a language, I want to travel to that country and lock myself like in a room with people until I come out speaking it, or whatever the situation is. I prefer immersion. So I was like totally down for this, like pushing myself out of my comfort zone. That's key to growth as well. Anyway, so we go out to the hot springs. There's also a guy there as well. We'll call him Bob. And so we get down there to the hot springs. I take a little bit longer usually to get where to get down into the water, or like I'm just a turtle in life, right? I take my time. A man, an alpha male, does not hurry for others. If there's like he's not jumpy, he's not reactive like emotionally, right? It's not like a fucking little squirrel. So I'm taking my time, not intentionally. It's just I go at my own pace. Now everybody else is already down in the water, so I couldn't see their bodies because the water's like up to at least titty level. So I have my boxers on. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to my boxers. I didn't bring shorts. I don't know if anybody else is skinny dipping, and I don't know these people that well, so I'm not just gonna be the random guy they invited on a whim who's just like, yeah, fuck yeah, like floppy dick all around you. So I wanted to see the situation. Anyways, I start walking down there, and Bob sees me coming down. Now, keep in mind, everybody, including Bob's, already in the water up to their titties, and Bob goes, I'm really offended by your boxers, bro. I'm offended. And I just laughed my fucking ass off. Like, I thought that everybody else still had their shorts or like a bathing suit. I thought I was kind of being the edgier one. And he's like, I'm offended. And I could tell he was joking, but I thought he was joking in a way like he was pretending to be the butthurt chode. And, what he was really doing was trying to call me out and say, you're the chode. Not knowing that I had no clue everybody else was skinny dipping, apparently. So, I like genuinely bellowing laugh at this shit. And, immediately what happens, the girls see, okay, this guy's secure with himself. They turn their focus to Bob, and one of them goes, the 9, she goes, Bob, knock it off, you're being an asshole, or something like that. She really ridiculed him, like seriously. And what did Bob do? Head down, shoulders in, poor body language, just didn't really say much. Clearly affected his state, which is exactly what we're talking about, not letting that happen here. So the second principle I want to talk about, it's it's kind of funny. It seems simple. It's okay, I'll tell you this. It's simple, but it's not easy. And this is the key to not letting anything fucking throw you off your center. Like, to knowing you're the shit, believing you're the shit and not letting that anybody, any circumstance, even if you love them to death, at the end of the day, not needing their approval for you to feel good, or not needing whatever. It's, you know, people want approval from their coworkers, people want approval from girls, guys, they want approval from their parents, they want all kinds of approval. It's like we're these just thirsting, like African, just suffering, emaciated people, and like validation is our source of nutrients. It's like, come on, dude. So here's how we get over that, though, really, because you'll probably say, okay, yeah, Jeff, that's you. It's easy to say that, but you know, like, I'm not good looking, or like I'm out of shape, or I don't have a job, or this or that, whatever. You know, there's a million reasons to feel like you're not enough. I know this. Here's the key. You've got to take this system here, like with all these notes, and you're going to, these ones personally are in the context of relationship strategies and goals, but what you're gonna do there, I have other walls with these concepts where I'm talking about specifically, if I was a 10, what qualities would I have? Like, what would I look like? What would my attitudes be? How much money would I make? Would it be like a corporate thing? Really, like having a vision of what you want specifically. Okay, it's important to have specifics and have them written down in a place on sticky notes where you're gonna see it every day. And have one of those sticky notes as well say, usually for a guy, I would put it like in front of the toilet, okay? Because when you like get up, take your morning piss, you're gonna look at this sticky note, or your evening piss, and I say, ask yourself if you took action today. Okay, because you've got all your goals now. You know, like, oh, I want to have a 6-pack, or I want to have a healthy relationship, which you can watch another video of mine to find out the best strategy for manifesting that, okay? If I use words like that, I'm not trying to sound woo-woo. Like, you just meditate, and that's gonna give you the perfect, you're gonna just, a 10's gonna knock on your door while you're fucking meditating. It's gonna be like, knock, knock, knock. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna open it, like, and you're just gonna, the light's gonna be around her, like a light breeze with her hair flowing. She's gonna be like, you know, I just was driving and I just had this feeling, because I meditate, and I had this feeling that my soulmate was also meditating, and it just directed me to come and knock on the door. So now will you please let me suck your cock? No, that's not gonna happen, okay? It's gonna be massive action necessary. However, these inner game concepts of self-confidence, being emotionally grounded, meditation can help with these things. And these things are like the foundation for your awesome, like, pimp house that you want to build for yourself, or whatever, your awesome future metaphorical white picket fence house, if you're like you want to have the, you know, really romantic marriage someday, or whatever the case is. You know, these inner game things are more important than any kind of like little strategy I could give you about like negs, push-pull, validation, takeaways, all of that kind of stuff. You know, like that's not important. That's like the little finishing gloss on the car's paint or whatever. Like anyways, we'll move on here, because I think it's really important that I hammer this concept in, that what you need to do is write down your goals, okay? You want to envision yourself as a 10. What qualities would I have as a 10? What kind of people would I have in my life? Where would I live? What's important to me? What do I want? Do I want a relationship? Do I want to play the field? Do I want to just like fuck as many people as possible? Be honest with yourself. Nobody's judging here, okay? We don't give a fuck. We're on our path. You're on yours. But you got to be honest with yourself, what you want, and be honest with yourself where you're at. And then you're going to write all of these goals down, all of these things, and you're going to visualize them like whenever you have a little bit of time. No, in between shit, okay? Because you never have time. And this is another thing. It's important. You want to step up and really build this confidence. When you have the 40-hour week job, you're not going to feel like when you get home after shoveling shit all day or whatever you do, standing out in the sun, you're not going to feel like hitting up the gym, going out and doing approaches, talking to people, going out to clubs. You're not going to feel like doing that shit. You're not going to... You just want to watch TV and zone out. If you're already in lower consciousness, then you're going to want to throw on some Netflix, maybe take a bath, pull out some of the beer, whatever, you know, you got your nice beer gut coming in. No, once you have these notes, once it's in your face every day, like, I want a 6-pack. Don't be a little bitch. Like, write it down. Don't be a little bitch in multiple places, because you're going to respond to challenge more than you're going to respond to pandering or supplication. Okay, so you have all these goals down. You have the direction you want to go, and you're asking yourself if you're taking action. And this time when you're tired, you're going to have to squeeze. You're going to have to sacrifice that, like, what you think you need is recovery time, you don't fucking need, okay? You're going to find you have more energy. You're going to be too tired to go to the gym. And if you really want it, you're going to force yourself to go. After work, right after work, whatever. Pack your shit before, bring it in the morning, before you even go home. This is what I do, because I know if I just even supplicate a little bit to myself, like, oh, I worked hard, I work a full day, you know, it was really physical, it was really hot out today, you know, I could just chill for a little bit, like, I'll just go take a shower, whatever. No. Okay, obviously you can take a shower, but you see what I'm saying? You're gonna not supplicate to these little reasons, excuses. They're fucking excuses. You have no excuse. Don't be a little bitch. Hit the gym right after work. You know, visualize your goals. See them, believe them, okay? As you're doing whatever your goals are, as you're taking a step, little step every day, okay? Most people underestimate what they can do in 5 years, but overestimate what they can do in a month. Okay, so just have that vision. Be patient with yourself. As long your parameter for if you're succeeding is not the result. If we're talking about game, your parameter for success is not did I get the number. It's not that I fucked the girl. Okay, it's did you approach. How did I do after thinking about it in the terms of how did I behave? Like, things I had control over, right? How did I do? Was I self-amusing? Was I confident? Was I emotionally grounded? Was I fucking having fun? Or was I, like, in my head and acting different just because the girl was hot or whatever the situation was? Were you being yourself? You know, people always say just be yourself. And I hated that. I'm sure you guys hate that. Okay, there is a little bit of truth in it as far as you don't want to have any inner dialogue. You want to have full congruence with your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Okay, I'll say it again. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, full congruence. That means there's no inner dialogue happening. That whatever your inner, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say. It matters how you say it. If you're saying it like with conviction, if you're saying it self-amused, the law of state transference is going to say however I'm feeling, you're going to feel it. If my frame is stronger than yours, I'm going to magnetize you, pow, punch to the face with my energy, and like some kind of like mystique X-Men power, you're going to, and you're just going to take my state. And that's going to be how you feel. That's why it's key. You got to control your own emotions as a man. Okay? Because women are emotional beings. They're going to be up and down. A lot of them will tell you this, you know? And that's cool. That's good. We love that. That's feminine energy. Okay? There's no room for you as the guy to be having that, though. Okay, you've got to be the rock. So, in conclusion, we'll go over one more time, just hit the main points here. The key to staying emotionally centered. One, being able to laugh at yourself, genuinely being amused by knowing you are enough, not needing that validation from anybody else. How do I know I'm enough, Jeff? You ask. Well, I'm glad you asked, because you obviously haven't been paying attention if you really had asked that at this point. But I'm more than happy to walk you through it one more time quickly. Okay, you're going to have all these notes, all of these goals you're going to envision. You're going to ask yourself, what would I look like if I was a 10? What would my life be like? What kind of people would I have around me? Okay, what kind of mentors do I want? What are my goals? What are my sexual fantasies? All of that shit. You're going to write it down. You're going to cover all your fucking house. You're going to cover everywhere with notes. And it's literally, it's going to be like you are bringing this into reality. You're creating your reality. And you're forcing yourself every day to ask yourself, am I making progress? Okay, so laugh at yourself. Be taking action. Okay, stay emotionally centered by having your goals figured out, what you want figured out, how you want your life to look, and then researching little step by step to get there. If we're talking working out, you're going to take action. You're going to be working out several times a week. If we're talking social skills, then you're going out, 3 or 4 nights a week at least, and you're getting reference experiences. And while that's happening, you're not letting your state crash when some girl acts like, a little bitchy towards you or whatever, she disses you. You're just going to laugh, and you're really going to be genuinely laughing because hey, I went to the gym after working that 9-hour shift, and then I worked on my business on the side like as soon as I got home. And I have this plan for this future, and I'm like killing it on that. So what the fuck does this girl have? Like, I really doubt she's doing all that. And if she is, good for her. But she obviously isn't qualified to tell me this shit. So honestly, think about it. Why do I want her validation? Especially if you're out doing pickup or trying to hook up, You don't know her. She's just a girl, man. Like, you gotta value yourself. Okay, you're not gonna value yourself unless you see you're taking action. Unless I am like becoming your man on your purpose. I'm becoming the man I want to be every day a little bit more. And once you're doing that, you're not gonna get thrown off your center by a girl. And by knowing when she's poking at your insecurities like this, first, it's a good thing because it's an indicator of interest. Okay, so if she wasn't thinking about fucking you, she wouldn't be poking at you to see how you react. And, second of all, stop being a little bitch. Stop being a bitch. At the end of the day, it comes down to that. It's easier to not be a bitch when you are taking action and that you're on top of your shit, that when you were tired, you still did whatever it was that you had to do to get to where you want to be. That's really important. Okay, so I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll talk again soon.